Thanks for joining us again here for Rogue Gaming's media coverage of E3 2018. We had the pleasure of checking out Metro Exodus, getting to play the game for a little bit. If you don't know, this title is a first-person shooter. It is developed by the Ukrainian Multibase studio 4A Games and published by Deep Silver. It's the third installment in the Metro video game series. And I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun. This is, of course, Nathan Holtz, at Nathan Holtz on Twitter. I am joined by Al Wasserman at TinCan1099 on Twitter. And, of course, you can find all the Rogue Media Gaming coverage at Rogue Media Gaming, drop the G on Twitter. So I'm going to hand this off to Al because he has the most Metro experience of any of us to talk about our gameplay. The one thing I will say before handing it off is I found, personally, throwing knives to be a man's best friend. Here you go, Al.
Thanks. So Metro Exodus is the third installment of the Metro video game series based on Dmitry Glukovsky's novels. It is a little different than previous Metro games, which were very linear in nature, that were very corridor-based with that stealth element. This happens to be a lot more sandbox, open world-oriented. When you get off the kind of traveling base, which is kind of a new thing, it's a train that rolls through the Moscow province in Russia. You can kind of go anywhere you want. They do put waypoints out there for your particular mission, but those you can get to those as you get to those. So you can wander around, loot areas, search areas, and things that are more akin to those open world games like Skyrim or Elder Scrolls. The basis of the game is that the Spartan Rangers have fled the confines of the Metro and have moved to the open world of Moscow, or to get to Moscow, based on the nuclear winter has kind of ceased to exist. So you can be above ground. There are certain areas that are still kind of ripe with toxicity and fallout, nuclear fallout, but it is a really great game. One of the things that was reminded me in this game is that it is extremely difficult. You're not really a bullet sponge. It doesn't take much to kill you. There is a kind of need to play in that stealth mode. If you get into an open firefight with 2 or 3 enemies, you are likely not going to survive unless you are spamming health the entire time. The one neat thing that they did include in this was a crafting mechanic. You don't have to wait to get to workbenches and bases to craft anymore. So you can find things out in the world, build parts for your weapons, be able to build that ammo, build med kits, things of that nature. So there is actually a really nice way to be out there in the world without having to wait until you get to a base. One of the things I really enjoyed about the game was the fact that it did have kind of that same dialogue-y feel to it, story-based feel to it, where you were working with some folks that came from the other games. So there are a lot of returning characters in this game. So you get to kind of see the continuation of their stories. There is a returning character from the game and the book Metro 2035, who is Anna, who appears now to be Artyom's wife. So again, this game is really amazing. Stealth elements huge, but the mix of the kind of the crafting and the sandbox environment should really make this a really great entry into the Metro franchise. The game also, I want to mention that the game does also include a day-night cycle and dynamic weather, which really changes the way that the game can be played. You can wait till nighttime to sneak around as opposed to trying to do it in broad daylight. And the seasons also change. So you're going to get snow, you're going to get rain, and probably some hot summer days as you travel through the Russian provinces. Again, this game releases February 22nd of 2019, so we're a little way out, but it is on all major platforms, Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. It is set to debut on the Xbox One X stage, or did debut on the Xbox One X stage. So they definitely have harnessed that power of that really powerful console. This is Alan Wasserman reporting for Rogue Gaming. You can find me at TinCan1099 on Twitter. And thank you.